Dear students, in the last lecture we understood what is a linked list and how the structure and pointers help in implementation of linked list. Today we'll try to understand what are the important factors required for actual implementation of linked list using C programming. Here a linked list program is written which include header files say stdio.h, conio.h and stdlib.h. The student structure is created. The student structure will have a roll number and contact related variables. These two variables will hold the student related information for each and every object in the memory. The student structure will have one more variable known as pointer next. So this pointer next variable will be of pointer type and its data type is struct student. So this pointer will hold the address of next object of a struct student type. Two variables of struct student are created. One is the start and the other is the current. Both are initially having null data in it. After creating a struct student data type or structure, we have created two functions. One is a create node and another is display list function. These two functions are called in a main program. Then in this main program we have struct student star a and star b, pointer a and pointer b variables defined. One more variable say choice is used for getting an input from a user. A printf function will print the values or the options provided to the user. One is to create a list, second is to display the list, and third is to exit from the list or from this particular program. Scanf allows the user to enter his or her choice. When choice 1 is entered, the create node, a node will be created. As and when a user will keep his choice 1, each time a node will be created and the list will be created by attaching a node to one another. If a user wants to display a list, so he can put his choice as 2, and then the list will be displayed to the user. If user wants to come out of this loop or out of this program, he has to press 3 for exit. When create node, when a user press 1, then struct student star temp type of variable or object will be created. If start is equal to null, means if initially start was null, and if the list is empty, means list is not yet created, so that it will be verified with star is equal to null. If start is not initialize anything, means list is empty, then create the first node. Temp is equal to declare a memory with using a malloc function. A memory is allocated or assigned to temporary variable. This temporary will have two variables. One is roll number and the second is contact number. So this roll number will be collected from a user using scanf, that is temp arrow roll number, and a contact will be collected in temp arrow contact using scanf function. Once a node will have a roll number and contact details in it, then the next pointer will point to null, because only one node is created and that node points to null value. Then a start is equal to temp. the temp variable was temporary, that is why this temp has been assigned to start. Now start will have the first value of roll number and the contact number, whereas the next of a start will be null. But if a list is already created and we want to add a new node into this list, then it will be verified star is equal to null. If it is not null, means list is already created, it will jump to else, and in else a temporary variable is created. This temporary variable is temp, with which a memory is allocated, and then a roll number as well as contact number will be collected from a user and stored into the memory. We want to connect the temporary variable at the end of a available existing list. Then a current pointer will be made to point at the start of a list, so that current is equal to start. Now start and current both are pointing to the starting location of a list. Then a current next is not equal to null. It will be verified whether the current next, the next object of a current, is null or not. If it is null, then automatically current next, the next object of a current object, will be considered as a temp, so that temp will be assigned to the current next. If current next is not equal to null, means there is only one element available in the list, then current is equal to current arrow next. It means current will be moved forward to the next element, and so on till the next value of current is equal to null. Once we will reach to end of the list, then current next will be temp, means temporary variable is attached to the end of a list. Then temp next is equal to null. Temp is assigned to null. This is how we keep creating the list one after another, attaching the element to the list. If a user want to display how many variables or how many contents exist in the list, it will be done with this. Start is always having a starting element of the list. Current will be assigned to start. So current is not equal to null. Until current is not equal to null, current is kept moving further and further, and at every location the contents of current, that is roll number and contact number, will be displayed. So this is how we can display the contents one after another. We will debug this program to understand the working behavior of this program. So here we'll go with the debug option, single step option. I am using code block here for easier debugging methodology. So this watch is provided what are the current contents of roll number, current roll number, and current next roll number and current next roll number details. So we go with the step into. So it will start from here, main. It has displayed the printf details one after another, and it is asking for scanf. So the available options are to create a first node or further nodes in the list, to display the list, and to exit. We want to create a list, that is why 1 is pressed and it has been entered, so that we move further with the next. It will switch to case 1. So this yellow pointer is pointing to the current location of execution. So create node function will be called, and here we move to current create node function. Initially, now we have already initialized start and current to null. That is why we do not have anything into our list. That is why it will create a first node in if itself. So temp variable has been created. So temporary, here you can see in the watch an address is allocated to temp. So then contains for roll number and contact number we have to enter. It has asked the roll number. Let us assume the roll number is 10 for a first student. Then it will ask for what is the contact number for that particular student. So let us assume contact number of that student is 9999. This is just assumed. Then it will ask, it will create a temp next is equal to null and start is equal to temp assigned to it. Now start has been assigned a temporary value, that is why start is not null now. Now break, again it will ask, it will print the values. What you want to do, we want to create a list one after another. Then it will ask for a choice. A choice is 1, create a node for the list. If a choice is 1, it will switch to create node, and then in the create node this time start is not empty. Start has already assigned a temporary value, so this is start is not null, that is why it will switch to else statement and create a temporary object for of type struct student. So it will create, so this temporary malloc function usage is already discussed in the previous lecture. So temporary object is created, it will ask for a new roll number and we have to enter a roll number for the another student. Let us assume a roll number is 20 and he will expect a contact number for a new student. So contact number, let us assume that is 8888. This time current is equal to start. We have to go at the end of a list and assign the value to that. So see, current roll number we can see in the watch, current roll number is 10 and contact number is 9999, and current next is do not have anything, a memory is assigned. So we know that current next is equal to null, that is why a temporary variable is directly assigned to current. Current next is equal to temp, and then current next roll number is equal to 20, and then we will end up by linking the two nodes to each other. First node has a roll number 10 and the second roll number has a roll number 20. Let's add one more node to the list. So again the main switch case will be executed and that will print the contents as a choice to the user. So first is create first node, or you can create a new node for that. 2 is for display the list and 3 is to exit. It will expect with the scanf the choice from a user. As we want to create a new list, we have entered 1, and then a switch will call a create node function. It will go to create node function. Since start is having a roll number 10 and it also has a next node which has a roll number 20, so this list is not new, not empty, that is why it will switch to else case. A temporary object has been created and a memory with a malloc function is allocated to that. Then a printf function will expect a value as a roll number for a temporary object. So this temporary, let us enter 30 as a roll number and enter a 7777 as a contact number to roll number 30. So after this we want to add this particular node which has a roll number 30 and a contact number 7777 at the end of a list. So we have to use a while loop where current is equal to start, means current is a pointer which is going to move from one location at the starting location to end of a list. So current and start both are pointing to the starting location of the list, while next current next is not equal to null, we have to move the current forward. So current is equal to current next. So the current is at a start location, its initial stage. Current is equal to current next, means current will start pointing to the next node after start. Then again current is equal to current next, means current will move 2 nodes further of a start. So this will continue until unless current next is equal to null. It means when we find there is no element after current, that means current next is equal to null, and that at that location we will assign current next is equal to temp. It means a temporary object has been added to the end of a list. Next, temp next is equal to null. It means the last element is a current equal to next equal to temp, and the next of that will be assigned to null. Means at end of a list, the last element of a list will point to the null value. This is how we have added 3 elements to the list. This is how it continues to add the element to the list and will end up the contents. As we know, we have added 3 contents, 3 objects to the list. First is roll number 10 and its contact number is 9999, whereas the second object has a roll number 20 and the contact number is 8888. The third roll number is a 30 and the contact number is 7777. So these 3 different objects has been connected in a list with the help of next pointer. So let's print the list. So again it will expect the choice. The choice has been displayed. We will enter the choice as a 2 because we want to display the list, and after the list display has been entered as a choice, then it will move to the display list function, and in the display list function again start is as a starting point of the student kind of object. Current is also assigned to point to the starting point of the list. Until current is not equal to null, it has to move further. Printf, every object will be printed with the help of current roll number and current contact number. So first start will print, since current and start pointing to the first node, it will print the current value with the printf, means 10 and 9999 will be printed. This is how we go for printing the values. Now here you can see the value roll number 10 and contact number 9999 has been printed as a first node. Now this current is equal to current next will move further node, so it will move the next node in the list, and it will go and check whether the current is equal to null. No, it's not equal to null because current is holding the value 20 and 8888. This you can see in the watch window. Current is equal to 20 and it has 8888. So we will print the same value. So here you can see roll number 20 and contact number 8888 is printed. So current is equal to current next will point to the next node in the list, that is 30. So it will move further and check whether it is null or not. So it's not null, so it will print the next value, that is 30 and 7777. So here you can see the 30 and 7777 value is printed. So first node, second node and third node, the list is now printed. So it will move further. Current is equal to current next. Now current next will not have anything, it's a null. So you can see it in the watch window. If we move further and see that current is now null, so it will come out of the loop and will go and to the display function in the main. So this is how we can go and traverse through the list very properly using a display function. So this is how we can create a list and display it. This is a small demonstration with which you can create a list and display it. Thank you. Thanks for understanding the details about a linked list.